Folks, last night, and when I left the studio after our 6-hour broadcast of the last night's debate, I got the phone call that iconic singer Frankie Beverly had passed away in the Bay Area. He was 77 years old. He just retired after more than 50 years in music. There were many tributes that took place this year. He was honored at the Urban One Honors, Lifetime Achievement Award from the NAACP, and also there was a special honor for him at Essence Festival this year as well. So many folks have been commenting about the passing of Frankie Beverly. This video here, folks, that I shot, this is actually from St. Louis. This was June 22nd when I went to St. Louis to see Frankie Beverly and Mays, to see the OJs and the Whispers, and on his farewell tour. And so many people all this morning have been responding and remembering Frankie Beverly. People have been reacting all day to the news regarding the passing of Frankie Beverly. He passed away last night at the age of 77. This, of course, is some video that I shot of Frankie when he was performing the Tom Jordan Morning Show cruise. He often performed on that cruise on numerous occasions, and always packed the crowds, always the audience wearing white. And so many people have been commenting all across the country, all across social media, about their Frankie Beverly moments, talking about their iconic opportunities with him, and of course, seeing him, experiencing him in concert. And so joining us right now, a couple of people to share their thoughts. Kenny Lattimore, Grammy-nominated singer and songwriter, and also Shelby J, singer. Glad to have both of you here on the show. Let me start with you, Kenny, because Frankie Beverly, for so many years, that silky smooth voice, backed by the band. And here's the whole deal. Frankie, when you're the Frankie didn't work the whole stage. Frankie didn't, I mean, it was like they shortened that stage. They gonna work from point to point. Yeah, he wasn't hopping around, running around. They were like, we gonna sing the same set every time, and the joint is gonna be packed, and they gonna dance their butts off.
Yep, and they had that one moment when they and stop and freeze, and it would turn the place out. But what an icon! What an honor it was to know him. I was able to give him his Lifetime Achievement Award for the NAACP Image Awards this past year. Kudos to everybody that chose to honor him and put together the farewell tour. I never thought that he got all of the accolades that he deserved, and the way that we think about how he's impacted our culture. When you went to a Frankie Beverly and Mays concert, it united people. It united Black folks in general in a way that no other artist did. When we got together to sing and dance, and it was like a family reunion every time we saw him.
Shelby J, you spent a lot of time with Prince, and I dare say this here. There are only two acts. I can't think of anybody else, two acts that will dictate what people wear. Prince, purple, and Frankie Beverly and Mays in white. I don't care if Mays came to town, there was no white linen in the city.
Yes, all of them. I got mine on tonight to honor him. Yes, absolutely. You talk about the soundtrack of a culture. You talk about the master, okay? The master of a culture. A personal memory of mine, I remember when I worked in New York City back in the Sylvia days, and he was coming to town. I think it was a BLS event, and everybody wanted to go to the show. I got there. I was on the side of the stage, and I think at sound check, he was on the drums. I didn't even know he played drums. I had no idea. But the crowd, just the energy, the love that came out of this man, you could feel it. He made music that you could feel, and it wasn't about him. And as an artist, that is key. And Prince talked about that a lot too. It is key. It's not about us. It's about the people in the audience and how we want to make them feel, how they're going to come in one way and how they're going to leave another way. And he did that. And his music will continue to do that for decades and decades and centuries. And it's just, we're lucky to have been, on earth at the same time as a Frankie Beverly and Mays. And his band was tight.
Oh, yeah.
Tight.
Yeah, and in fact, we're going to be talking to some of the former members of the band shortly, including the last living founder, Rome. So this is a perfect example. So this is from the Tom Joyner cruise right here. And this was in one of the theaters. And you see how it is. So this was the cruise. This was the Superdome. This was any place to perform. But the thing, Kenny, that I asked this question for a decade to people. What was it? What was it about Frankie Beverly and Mays? And everybody had different reactions. Mm-hmm. And so the music, so we can go through groups. We can talk about the Commodores. We can talk about Earth, Wind, and Fire, the OJs, folks who had hits, folks who were in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. But this Frankie Beverly Mays was totally different than anybody else.
The sound was organic. So it was something about it that when you got together, it wasn't overproduced. It was musical. It was excellent. And that's why it lasts from generation to generation. When you get Beyonce covering you, but still people play his. Yes. You know what I'm saying? If they play a little Beyonce, they're going to be like, no, we still got to play Frankie's. You know that you've done something that is timeless. And he was just that kind of music maker. There was a moment during the set where he would play. So go ahead and go full screen. This is a little bit of it right here when Frankie would get behind them. Y'all hear? Turn it up. Okay. All right, so do this here, y'all. So I don't care about the audio being overmodulated. There was a moment where in one of the songs, do-do-do-do-do, so that was a key. And see, that's the other thing, Shelby. The audience knew the song that was next based upon what the band played. Right.
Exactly. And they were ready for it. They were ready for it. When I end my show, I did when I played at Paisley Park for the celebration. And one thing Prince will talk about with covers is, a hit is a hit. And they've already made it a hit. So you want to pick a song that's going to get them right from the beginning. And so with my songs, I would put together a show, and I would end. I said, I gotta end with Before I Let Go. And as soon as that da 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 da, whoa, everybody starts singing, and the energy shifts, and that is forever. And it's just that joy. That's the one word people ask me when I found out last night, because it was my birthday yesterday, and I found out last night, and I was like, just joy. His music is joy. Yep. His message is joy. The way he loved his family, the way he loved music. I watched the thing and he was talking about singing on the corner of the street in Philly and listening to Frankie Lyman, and he loved music and he loved people and he wanted people to come together. And that's what good music does. Good music brings people together. Good music is timeless. It ain't milk. It don't expire. Good music is forever. And that's what kind of music he made.
Oh, and right there, Kenny, and the thing is, you have intergenerational. And so, again, when you look at this video right here, you had grandmother, grandfather, mom and daddy, sons, daughters, nieces, nephews. That was the other thing in terms of the generations that were in there.
He's doing the classic thing. He's singing about love.
Yes.
And love is also timeless to go with it. So Frankie represented us well. He did it with such style. His personal style translated to all those generations still. I'm just, again, so happy that he was honored well. He's a great person, like Shelby mentioned. I just have sat at his feet so he could tell me stories about Marvin Gaye, too, and just different things where he loved what he did. Mm-hmm. And he understood that music took him on this journey, and he was very grateful of that. So, again, a life well lived.
Yes.
A person who's given so much to so many people. We cherish him forever.
Yes, yes. Two words, Southern girl. Come on. Yeah. Come on now.
Well, and so there's a reason I shot this video the way I did, because I really wanted a really tight, guys, go to the video. I really wanted that tight. Frankie was so emotional when he sang. And he also, Shelby J, when I say emotional, Frankie cried all the time. Yeah. I mean, he cried on stage. He was always moved by the love of the audience. He was always touched by the love they gave him and the band.
Yes, because he was a vessel. And when you are a true vessel, you can tell the difference when you see that. It comes through you. You know, you're a conduit of that energy. You're a conduit. You're the vessel that the message and the energy is coming through. And he could feel all of that and get it out to the audience. And he felt that. You could see the tears, you could see the emotion, and it was real. You know, it was really real, and you could feel it. It came from the heart, so it went to the heart.
You know, that's so important what you're saying, Shelby. It was a spiritual thing. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just like, oh, we just went to a concert and we saw somebody put on a show. Yeah. There was a real spiritual connection between his lyrics, between the music itself, between him and the way that he delivered. Absolutely.
Yes.
Indeed, indeed. Kenny Lattimore, Shelby J, I appreciate y'all joining us to share your thoughts about the passing of the great Frankie Beverly. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Folks, going to go to a break. When we come back, we're going to hear from other individuals who knew Frankie well and who will share their thoughts about his life and legacy. Folks, you're watching this tribute to Frankie Beverly right here on the Black Star Network. Back in a moment.
In 2016, Donald Trump said he would choose only the best people to work in his White House. Now those people have a warning for America. Trump is not fit to be president again. Here's his vice president.
Anyone who puts himself over the Constitution should never be president of the United States. It should come as no surprise that I will not be endorsing Donald Trump this year.
His defense secretary.
Do you think Trump can be trusted with the nation's secrets ever again?
No. I mean, it's just irresponsible action that places our service members at risk, places our nation's security at risk.
His national security advisor.
Donald Trump will cause a lot of damage. The only thing he cares about is Donald Trump.
And the nation's highest-ranking military officer.
We don't take an oath to a king or a queen or to a tyrant or a dictator. And we don't take an oath to a wannabe dictator.
Take it from the people who knew him best. Donald Trump is a danger to our troops and our democracy. We can't let him lead our country again.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
IVF is a miracle for us because it allowed us to have our family. After having my daughter, I wanted more children, but my embryo transfer was canceled 8 days before the procedure. Donald Trump overturning Roe v. Wade stopped us from growing the family that we wanted. I don't want politicians telling me how or when I can have a baby. We need a president that will protect our rights, and that's Kamala Harris.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
The overturning of Roe almost killed me. I had a blood clot in my uterus that caused my labor to have to be induced because of the overturn of Roe v. Wade. I wasn't able to get life-saving treatment sooner. I almost died. And that's because of the decision that Donald Trump made.
I was able to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I'm proud to have done it.
The doctors and nurses were afraid that if they treated me in the incorrect way, that they would be prosecuted for that. And that's appalling. Donald Trump says that women should be punished.
Do you believe in punishment for abortion? There has to be some form of punishment. For the woman? Yeah.
I believe that women should have reproductive freedom to make the choices about their own bodies. 4 more years of Donald Trump means that women's rights will continue to be taken away one by one by one by one. This has to stop because women are dying.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Here's a 78-year-old billionaire who has not stopped whining about his problems.
Oh, she had a big crowd. Oh, the crowd.
This weird obsession with crowd sizes. It just goes on and on and on. America's ready for a new chapter. We are ready for a President Kamala Harris.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Me, Sherry Shepard, and you know what you're watching, Roland Martin Unfiltered.
Folks, welcome back to our special coverage of the passing of Frankie Beverly. Gerald Albright, who dedicated a song on one of his albums to Frankie Beverly and Mays, sent us this video.
Hey everyone, Gerald Albright here. I lost my friend. Frankie Beverly was a dear friend of mine and known him for many, many years. I just loved and appreciated his music, the positive energy within his music, the genuine nature within his music. I love the man himself. One of the kindest guys I've ever met, one of the most unique voices of our time. He will be greatly missed. I'm glad I had a chance to perform some music with him over the years. And even in my live shows today, I do the song Before I Let Go, which has been a staple in my set list for many, many years. And it's a song that we have to do because it's just a party song of the century. But thank you, Frankie, for everything that you've given us. You've taken us through some great times, some hard times with your songs, and you were here for a purpose, and you fulfilled that purpose. Job well done. On behalf of the Albright family, I'd like to give condolences and prayers, and we're praying for your understanding in this season. God bless.
All right, folks, our next guest, they knew Frankie Beverly very, very well. Long time members of Mays, and one of them is the last living founder of Mays. So joining us right now is Rome. Rome, glad to see you there. Rome, of course, he plays the congos and is also on vocals. Also, Calvin Napper on drums and Jubu lead guitars. Is everyone here? And also Chris Walker, who is a vocalist. And of course, they also now make up the band TMF. Again, it is, first of all, condolences to every single one of you. Rome, I want to start with you because y'all go back 50 years, brother. That's a long,
55
that's a long time.
years. 55 years.
55 years. Take us to the beginning. How did y'all meet?
Well, it's a beautiful story. I met Frank in 1969. My brother was going to a boarding school, and the bass player was attending the school, and he used to tell me when I'm not in school, I play with this band, which were the Butlers. And we had people come and check them out. And at that time, I was the jazz head. I played the flute. So I went to see him and sat in. And of course, the flute wasn't required in the music they were doing because it was pretty much doo-wop. And, you know, people have angels that God puts in their lives. And Frank, to me, was an angel because he could have easily said, "Hey man, nice to meet you," and never see me again. This man, because, you know, when you meet people and it's such a beautiful vibe that you get from them and you connect right away. And we did that, and he asked me, he said, "Hey man, I don't need a flute, but what else can you play?" And I said, "I play congas and I can sing." And the rest is history. If it wasn't for him, I would still be in Philly. So again, Frank was a definite angel in my life, and I love him and always will love him for it. And he'll be missed, but never forgotten.
Jubu, how did you guys connect? In fact, I'm gonna do this here. You go ahead and talk. I'm actually setting up here. I wanted to show folks. This is I got tons of photos and video, you guys, and this is a photo, of course, you guys in action, and Frankie is looking. Go to my iPad, guys. Come on. This is Frankie looking in the direction. You there on the congos. And you guys performing somewhere. I shot this somewhere. But Jubu, give us how did it begin with you and Frankie Beverly?
Frankie, I think Rome was the first one to tell Frankie about me, and he was looking for another guitar player. And I had met Rome a few years earlier, and me and Rome we just hit it off so well, man. And I had always been a fan, and this was in 2000 because I was still playing with Miss Whitney Houston, rest in peace. And he called me. I didn't know how he got my number. I thought someone was pranking me, and I ended up hanging up in his face. And then I did, man. Honestly, I'm not proud of that, but I hung up in his face because the voice I heard was, "Hey, what's up, man? This is Frankie B." So I thought it was either a radio station prank or something. I just wasn't in the mood for it at the time. And so he called me back and he said, "No, man, don't hang up. Carl Wheeler gave me your number." And when he mentioned Carl Wheeler, then I put two and two together, and so I apologized immensely to him right then, man. I'm so sorry about that. And he said, "No, that's fine, man." He said, "I want to know if you have eyes for the band." And I didn't understand what that meant. So the whole conversation, I was like, "This dude is like an alien." But what drew me to him was that he was the first major artist that I ever worked with that called me themselves. It was always a management or some type of liaison, you know. And when he said, "No, man, I want to know," he said, "I've been checking you out. I like what you're doing, and I want to know if I can fly you up, and man, you can sit down and talk." And I was like, "Man, he just wants to fly me up." So I said, "Yeah," and he said, "Well, give me your information." And I gave him my flight information, and I'm doing all, and I've never done this with the artist, so it was tripping my head out. And I think 2 days later, he flew me up, and we went and sat down in his house, and I played him a cassette of me playing with Rasan Patterson. That's how long ago this was. It was a cassette. And he listened to about 3 minutes of it, and he said, "Hey, man, if you down, we down." You know, and I said, "Okay, yeah, I'm down, man. I love the music," and that started a 23-year musicianship friendship that continued until last night. And as devastated as I am, it's been a long day, man. And as devastated as I am, we have the memories. You know, they can't take the memories from us. I owe him a lot as far as even my musical journey, the passion that I'm developing, even through the hardships that I'm going through. I owe a lot to him, and I'm just grateful for the time that I've spent with him.
Calvin
and the rest of the guys.
Calvin, your story.
Yes, sir. So my connection with Frankie Beverly and Maze was through, just like you said, was through Carl Wheeler. I was actually I was playing drums with Stephanie Mills back in 2010, and we were opening for for Maze featuring Frankie Beverly at the Pier 6. And so Carl saw me standing off to the side of the stage, and he sent his tech over to tell me to make sure that he got my number if I left, before they finished. And I was like, no, man, I'm going to be here, blah, 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 whatever. So one thing led to another. Carl and I talked after the, Maze performance, and I ended up going to San Francisco, to the Bay Area, for an audition. And I was told prior to getting there that, you may want to prepare to stay, for an extra day. If Frank digs you, he's going to want to keep you around. I was like, okay, cool. So, and that's what happened. I got out there, man, got to, kicking it, play some grooves with the guys, and they kept me over an extra day, and the rest was history. I was there from, that was in August of 2010. First show was in September 2010 up until May of last year. So that was my connection with Maze.
Maze, you are a longtime vocalist, and there are, look, you got gold standards in terms of people who know how to work the crowd, who have an intimate understanding with that audience, and that absolutely was Frankie Beverly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
And Roland, and that was the last thing to go. That was the very last thing to go, was that command of the stage, what we call swagger. Even as the voice waned and he wasn't able to play the instruments like he did in the past, because what people didn't know about Frankie Beverly, he's one of the most underrated rhythm guitar players in R&B history, and I would really put him right up under Nile Rodgers, and people would know that as far as a rhythm guitarist. Frank was absolutely amazing, and then during my time there, I saw those things slowly start to wane and everything. Where even I was privy to go to the very, very last show, that performance that he did. I just happened to be in the Bay Area visiting my mom, and he was playing there, and once again, that was the very last thing he had. He had total command of that stage, man. Even though he was frail, he was he was declining, but that never left, man. That swagger never left.
Chris, go ahead.
Well, I didn't, of course, work with Maze directly, but my association was I started with Regina Bell in one of her first tours. I was her musical director, and we opened for Frankie and Maze for a little over a year. And I was singing a duet in the show with her. And oftentimes, I would look to side stage, and Frankie would be standing there listening. And on a number of occasions, he came up to me and he said, "Young man, you have a great voice. Keep doing what you're doing. One day you're going to make it." So, he was very encouraging, and I was 19 years old at the time. So from him sowing those seeds into my life at such an early age, I'm able to do what I'm doing now because it really encouraged me and gave me confidence as a vocalist.
Rome, when you're on the road, there's always a lot you're doing. There's always a lot that you're involved in. Just give me a sense of just some of the wild, funny, hilarious. Because people see Frankie as Mr. Smooth, Mr. Relaxed, Mr. Chill, but he also was a taskmaster.
Yeah, 1,000%. 1,000%.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and in fact, while you're talking, I'm pulling up this video here. While you're gonna be talking, I went to the show in St. Louis to see him, see Maze, the OJs, and the Whispers, and folks, they can get a sense of that stage performance, just the stuff that I shot. Rome, hold on one second. Rome, go ahead and talk.
Yeah, I mean, the road was what we loved the most. The time when we were touring, had a tour bus, just great times, fun times, whatever we enjoyed doing, those long trips. It was just a great time, and there was times when we all were in the same bus, and it was just just a lot of fun. Cards, dominoes, what everybody enjoyed doing. But it was also a time where we would just have that camaraderie that we have. And with Maze was part of that, just being was magic. We created some beautiful magic in the studio as well as live.
And Roland, by the time I got there, Frank had graduated to his own bus, and so it would be Frank, Robin Dewey, and his management would be on that bus, and then we had our own tour bus. But what I remember most about us is that we all loved boxing. Frank loved boxing. I loved boxing. Rome loved boxing. So anytime there was a big fight, Frank would probably get it on the bus or in his suite, and we'd all gather around in that room and watch some good boxing. And he loved talking about the old fighters and stuff. Like I will always cherish that as well.
Yeah, we always had a great fellowship anytime we got together. It was just a beautiful time, always. With every band that came in and out, it was always the same core. Always the same core. We never, and bands, there's 7 of us. There's always somebody that has indifferences, ego, whatever, that has never been in any of the bands that I've been in. We've always had some beautiful brothers to keep the legacy and the music. And it's just nothing like it. I mean, all you really want is people to get you and love what you're doing. And when you can create that kind of joy and you give that back, that's all you want. I mean, just the love through your music. It's nothing better than that.
Now I'm gonna do something right now. I'm gonna take y'all back, and I talk about this all the time. That when y'all got the Trumpet Award in 2010, that was the first major award y'all had ever received, correct?
Yes.
And I always talked about that, and I remember I was always discussing on my radio show. I remember telling Deborah Lee, when the hell y'all gonna honor Maze? I'm like, they ain't never got an award. And Deborah Lee said, are you serious? I'm like, yes, Deborah, I'm trying to tell y'all. And so then y'all got honored with the Trumpet Awards. So I'm gonna take y'all back 14 years because I was there. Watch this.
All right, gents, we're here at the 18th Annual Trumpet Awards. I am shocked. Frankie Beverly Maze getting an award from somebody. Y'all all smiling and everything. Talk about that. Somebody appreciating your work in this way.
Well, good. I mean, we couldn't ask for anything better. I mean, for the Trumpet Award, I think it's better than any award. You know, they recognize the people of what they do, and I love it.
That is the satisfying part about it to me too, because it's a people's kind of a thing. It's hard to put anything over 40 years of love and affection that they've already given us. So, but this is from the people, and it is. It is like an icing on the cake.
Now, I love you guys, John. Like I work y'all music into the CNN thing all the time. I slide it in. But I've always asked this question to people all across the country. What is it about your music that is special? And I've got literally 100 different answers. So from your perspective, what is it that connects with people in such a unique way? White folks got the Grateful Dead and Fish. We got Frankie Beverly Maze.
I get that. I think it's the work. It's always the work you do. We've always, from Philadelphia back in the 60s, in the hippie days, and stuff, we've always done what I consider people music, life music, stuff like
Susan Taylor called it ultimate love.
Right on, because it's more than just a man-woman kind of love. The people react on "We Are One" and all that kind of stuff like it's just came out or something, right? Like in church or something.
Now I gotta tell y'all, when you performed in Dallas with the Gap Band, you came out and said, "Hey guys, we're working on a new album." The audience started laughing. They like, yeah, right. Go ahead and sing. Go ahead and sing y'all song. We don't need no new stuff. So, but how does it feel though to stand on stage and you're singing, or the music starts and you ain't have to sing?
Yeah, that's
they just start singing the whole song.
Hard to beat that, brother, man. I mean, awards, as good as they are, it's hard to beat that.
That's a great honor.
That's a great honor, man.
Now look, everybody, okay, all of them was amazed right here?
Yeah.
Okay, here. Now everybody know Frankie. What's your name?
Joe Douglas.
Say it again?
Joe Douglas.
Joe Douglas. Joe, what do you do?
I do the business.
Do the business? Oh, hell, we ain't talking to you. Okay. All right, what's your name?
Rome.
What do you play? What do you do?
Play congas and sing background vocals.
Gotcha, because nobody know your name. They just see the brother over there playing on stuff. We got his name. What's your name?
McKinley Williams, percussionist, background vocals.
All right, anybody else? What you do?
I do publicity for 28 years.
All right, what's your name?
Reve Gibson.
Anybody else? All right, we got the whole crew. All right. You do anything in the band? You do what you do?
Security for Mr. Beverly.
Oh, hell no. We ain't talking. All right, guys. Enjoy the show.
First of all, I want to thank my Lord and Savior.
You don't hear me.
Thank you. Helping us get through 40 years of this. Blessing us to you because it kept us on.
That's right.
For over 40 years. And national, awards were, really, really important. But this is different. This is thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I never knew anything else. I want to thank the Clarksons. I want to thank my family, my brother, his lovely wife, a lady of 100 years. I want to thank my team, Joe, and Stacy, and my dad. I want to thank Amy because if it wasn't for Amy, I wouldn't even be up here. I mean, I just didn't think it was all this. And it is. It is. Things. If you wait on the Lord.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
We'll show you some things. That'll blow your mind. Thank you for the bottom of my heart.
That right there, I took y'all back there, Rome.
Oh yeah, yeah. And the only other award was the Lifetime Achievement, BET.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, I told Deborah Lee for about 5 years, yo, y'all need to give them the award. What the hell are y'all doing?
Thank you, bro. Much love. Appreciate you.
I gotta ask y'all this here. Frankie told me the story, but I want to hear from you, Rome. Where the hell did the white come from? Because that was not planned.
No, that was Frank's favorite color. He didn't like different outfits and colors. He was never that. Although back in the maybe 80s, we had a stylist where we had different looks. And it worked, but he was very simple. I mean, he had 100 white outfits, and all of them looked the same pretty much. I mean, that was his trademark, And then the fans picked it up, and it was a white concert, a white party for years.
Well, he told me. He said one day he came out and one show he didn't wear white, and the artist was like, "Say, dog, what the hell you doing?"
Yeah,
And he was like, "Oh, I guess I better go ahead and put that white back on, huh?"
Yeah.
He had a red velvet. He had a red velvet suit on one time. It was made like the white stuff, but it was this red velvet. And this lady, he said, "You look like the devil." Go. You heard it in the front row. "You look like a little devil. Go put that white on."
Now that's.
He said, "Wait. I'll wait for you. Go put that white on." Oh man.
Now that
was his signature look.
Yeah, anytime he did have other outfits, man. And he had a black outfit every once in a while he would wear, but that audience, then he said he would get the next day. They would be all on his email.
This is a photo right here. This is at Essence. Frankie, myself, and Ed Lewis, co-founder. Look, you guys closed Essence Festival for so many years.
10 years.
But y'all blew up. It was New Orleans. That live in New Orleans.
Yes, sir.
When the record label said, "Man, y'all are killing it," what the Gulf Coast, New Orleans, Houston, that whole region, they are the ones that fully embrace. What is it? What was it about New Orleans and Houston, that whole area, that just, because again, people go, hell up, but y'all from Philly and your Bay Area, but it was really that region that put y'all over the top.
Yeah, we sold over 300,000 copies in Houston and between Texas and Louisiana. And Frank couldn't believe it when Larkin Arnold from Capitol Records at that time told him. He said, do you know how many records you sold in this area? He said, probably about maybe 100, He said, man, you're at 300K. And this was just in a matter of months. And the Live in New Orleans was, to me, the best album we've recorded.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Now, see, I'm partial to Live in L.A. I was jamming that coming down the street. I just letting you know, matter of fact, that was a period, it probably was 2 years ago. This is no lie, because I get this from my daddy. I listened to Maze feature Frankie Beverly live in L.A. for 3 straight months every day. I listen to anything. So I do that with music. I'll get one song and I'll play it like 8,500 times like it's new, but it always happens.
All right.
Last question for you. The split was hard. When y'all sat in the studio, y'all talked about you couldn't communicate with him. Did you get an opportunity to do that, to talk, to share, to hug?
Actually, I'm in the Bay Area now. I've been here since Monday. I had to be with him. And, it's my brother, and I love him. Again, he's meant so much to me. It's just heartbreaking to see him the way he was, but, he's all right now. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, my brother. God has him. And I said my goodbyes pretty much. I was able to whisper to him because he couldn't open his eyes. I was hoping that he could see me and it would maybe get a response from him, but he couldn't open his eyes. And it was just me telling him that I'm here, how much I loved him, how much he meant to me. I mentioned Bug McKinley Williams, who passed away some time ago, just to let him know that there was so many people that loved him that he brought into his life and made ours better. So I was just really happy that I was able to see him and be with him at that moment in time. It's something, again, he'll be missed but never forgotten. And that's my brother.
I was going through my archives, and again, you never know what you got till you have to look for it. And this was a moment from the Joyner Cruise where Frankie talked about you coming up with the name Maze. Y'all play.
Because you can stand that money up here. You can stand up that money. I know about that. Anyway, let me introduce the band here really quick as we get back to the music. On the Congas. Been with me 50 years. Got a long Conga. Well, we used to be with Tony wrote the song Anniversary. Carl Wheeler on the keyboard.
One of the clips, I actually have the clip where he talked about you coming up with that name, Maze, and that's how it all started. He will be missed, but the music does indeed live on, and I can guarantee you 50 years from now, at a black family reunion, a wedding, a barbecue, birthday party, Frankie Beverly and Maze will be on the playlist.
And Lark and Honor, not Lark and Honor, I'm sorry, but we were Raw Souls. And we met Marvin Gaye. His sister-in-law used to come see us in San Francisco at the club we used to play. She said, you got to come see this band. Marvin came up and saw us, fell in love with the band, but he hated the name Raw Souls. So we started kicking out names, and I said, well, what about Maze? And they said, yeah, that's cool, but they were kicking out other names. And it came back to Maze, because at that point in time, musically, the music would take you in and out of different emotions. Just each song would take you on a journey. So that was my thought process. And that was it. And the rest is history. But yeah, it was because of Marvin Gaye that we changed the name. Loved him. He took care of us. He took us out on tour. He bought us equipment, paid rent. Beautiful brother. Beautiful brother. Loved him. We used to play basketball together at his crib. When he was with Jan Gaye, we knew his family, his kids, but a beautiful cat.
Indeed. Gentlemen, we appreciate y'all sharing your thoughts and reflections. We are going to miss Frankie. We're going to miss the smile. We're going to miss the white suit. And I'm looking through my archives. You're right. I remember taking a photo on the cruise. Frankie had 20 hats. I said, Frankie, you got 20 white hats.
And they're all the same.
I said, Frankie, you could have brought 5. You didn't have to bring 20. I'm going to find the photo because the audience might be thinking I'm lying. Trust me, I'm not lying.
Hey, Roland.
No, you're not.
Roland.
Yeah.
Not only are you not lying, I would watch Frank in the dressing room try on 10 different ones before he choose the one he gonna wear.
Yeah.
And you like, bruh, they all white.
Yeah.
And they're
all white and they're all specially made for you. They were all tailored, and everything. But let me also say this too, man, in closing. I just want to tell the world, thank you to Mr. Beverly, because from Mr. Beverly is the reason that I developed relationships with Rome and Calvin and Bear and all the guys who are now TMF, and before with Robin Dewey and even Ron Smith, the guys that were before us, the guys that came before us, we have a brotherhood that still exists.
Yeah.
And it's all tied to that one spirit. So to that I say thank you, Mr. Beverly.
Yeah.
Gentlemen,
all right.
Gentlemen, we appreciate it. You have a fantastic day. I will see y'all soon.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate you.
Thank you,
we really do, man. Big love.
Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate it. Gentlemen, thank you so very much. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Folks, we got a lot more folks we need to line up. You guys go ahead and get the next round of guests. Let me just tell you, and we were behind. We were behind there. Seth the Entertainer. We're trying to get Sid. We're trying to get Daniel Weatherspoon. We've got Sheila E. We've got Susan Taylor, Ed Lewis coming up. Anthony Hamilton coming up. We have. Also, I'm missing a couple of Leela James, Melba Moore, and so just an amazing number of people. You know, we do these because we honor our own. I said to folks, we had pushed back the James Earl Jones. We will do a James Earl Jones tribute. We do this because the reality is our people don't get that love. Our people, when it comes to mainstream, so we have to create the space to celebrate our own. Again, this is one of the photos I shot of Frankie on the Tom Joyner Morning Show cruise. In fact, we reached out to Tom. Tom declined, but Tom told me, hold on one second. Let me tell you what Tom said. Tom said, I got a couple of statements I want to read. Tom Joyner said, "Tell Roland I'm blasting Frankie so loud, the fish are complaining." And I did talk to Tom, and he said, "Man, Frankie Beverly loved Tom's brother, and he attended his brother's funeral in Tuskegee. He loved his brother, and Tom said that when his brother was in a coma, I think he said 37 days, he played Frankie Beverly and May's music every day so loud it drove the nurses crazy." Bootsy Collins, we reached out to Bootsy Collins. He couldn't make the show, but Bootsy Collins said, "A friend, a musician, and legend, Mr. Frankie Beverly has escaped the chains of life and went on to pure freedom and bliss. He left when his work was done. Thank you, Frankie, for blessing us with a lifetime of musical gifts wrapped in love. Prayers going out to your family and friends. R.I.P. We love you, Bootsy baby." That was from Bootsy. And so, guys, let me know when we have our next round of guests so we can get to them. Let me know. So we're trying to get those guests together right now. So many other tributes. I was on social media looking at some of the tributes that were pouring in. Frankie, so many people were on social media sharing their thoughts and reflections and talking about him and at Essence Festival, and people sharing the stories of where they were and they saw him here and they saw him there, and when they went to so many concerts. And this photo here, I think, just really captures the essence of Frankie in terms of just how he was just so connected, if you will, connected with the audience. You heard what Jubu said. In the last several years, the voice was faltering, but the reality is he was still he was still on that stage. He was still singing his heart out for the people. And I remember Melanie Span Cooper telling me a story when they were they came to Chicago, and they actually had one stop, but so many people, the tickets went so fast, and folk complained so much that they actually had to do a second concert. And she said, well, in between shows, Frankie got a little lit and came out. She said, straight up, 30 straight minutes. He said they stood on that stage, and the band, she said, and the crowd literally said, Frankie, we got this, y'all. And the crowd sang every song, all the lyrics for 30 straight minutes. That's just how it was, with their audience, that relationship with that audience, how the audience loved connecting with them and the sounds. And so you would go to the concert. I remember being at Essence Fest, and security down front. And so what I'm doing, I'm multitasking, y'all, while Carol is getting the folk ready over there. I'm going through here and looking for the photos. We were in the Bahamas together when he sang at the Boulay convention there. And maybe it's on this phone over here. And what was interesting is, so the security was tripping because they didn't want anybody in the aisle. And Frank was like, hey, man, let the folk dance. Let the folk dance. And I saw him do that several times. In fact, when we were in St. Louis, he did the exact same thing. When security was trying to stop folk from getting in the aisles and dancing. And so, because he understood that the audience came there to have a good time. The audience came there to enjoy themselves, to dance, and to have a ball, and that's what it was all about. And he wanted the audience to actually do that. And so he made that point known when he performed. And so that's what made those times special. And you'll be out there again, you would be moving and grooving, dancing with folk you don't even know. I remember being at Essence line dancing with Ava DuVernay. We did that, and so man, those things happen. But that's what life was like. That's what it was always about. In fact, let me go ahead. Here is let me airdrop this here. This is the photo when we were in the Bahamas. Again, he performed at the Boulay convention, and so the band was there, and they traveled. And here's the other thing, they were a road band. They were road dogs. They hit the road. This is a photo, me and my wife Jackie with Frankie Beverly backstage. We were there in the Bahamas, and so it was just always a joy to see Frankie, to spend time with Frankie. It was just always awesome. He was always gracious. He was always wonderful. Man, we would talk. Frankie Beverly listen, y'all. Frankie Beverly didn't play when it came to politics. He didn't play when it came to politics. He understood politics. He understood that politics mattered. And it was important for our people to be engaged in the political process. He endorsed President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris in 2020. So he understood that. This here is an image of Frankie performing at, give me 1 second, it's about to pull up. This is, you see, this is a great photo of Frankie in Rome. This is actually so funny. This is at the MGM National in Maryland. I didn't even have a ticket. I just rolled in and let me in. I walked up to the front of the stage and boom, I took that photo of Frankie, and you see Rome to the right just smiling. Now the band in this photo is wearing all black. I just noticed that. I ain't never seen a band in all black and Frankie in white, but they were. And so, man, the crowd just loved them. All right, y'all, who we got up? Folks, joining us right now, Seth the Entertainer, Jeffrey Osborne, Anthony Hamilton, and Melba Moore. Glad to have all four of you here. Let me start with you, Anthony Hamilton, because you were part of the tribute to Frankie Beverly at Essence Festival this year, and you said it was a high honor for you to fet and celebrate this dear brother, and here we are about 3 months later. He's now an ancestor.
Yeah, man. Frankie was one of those artists that I heard as a little boy, and I knew his voice was different. And the fact that I got a chance to meet him and to be under his wing and to share a stage with him and even toured with him, it's surreal to me. But he took me in and was kind to me like that great uncle. And we had a lot of good laughs.
We talk a lot about stage presence. We talk about those things, and I always said he didn't sit here and go from that end of the stage to the other. They picked that spot, and basically it was like they were like, I'm gonna work it between here and here.
Yeah. Well, when you got great songs and everybody's singing your music, you don't have to do much. You got crowd participation, and there's already a vibe and an energy in the room. So say less, do less, and enjoy it more. You know what I mean? Ain't it right, Melba, y'all? Come on.
This is the video. Guys, go to my iPad. This is a video from your Instagram page of you and Frankie backstage. Melba Moore, just share your thoughts of Frankie Beverly.
Well, he was part of everybody's family and fabric. My niece is 27, and she was really, really upset at his passing because he was at every barbecue, at every family gathering. He really became part of the fabric of the Black family.
Absolutely.
Jeffrey Osborne, how far do y'all go back?
Oh, we go way back. I mean, back further than anyone knows, because I met Frankie in Newport, Rhode Island, of all places, where I have my tournament. This was in 1963. He was going through Hurley's Lounge there playing in Newport, Rhode Island. That was before he became successful and big. And then I toured with him for years with LTD. I mean, we did so many shows together. So I go way back with Frankie. And I have to say, we lost a really good one. It just hurts my heart to see some of the people that we've lost. And even this week with James Earl and now Frankie, it's tough because I'm up there around that same age. We about the same age, me and Frankie. So, it's just sad, man. But he's going to be in history forever as a great legend, an unbelievable, one of the most soulful guys I've ever met.
If one of you could just turn your speaker down, that's why we're getting that feedback. So we just turn your speaker down, that'll help us out. Seth the Entertainer, you thought you were a member of Maze. You tried to sneak on stage many a time.
Yeah. I mean, wearing all white, I let my beard grow in. I was really trying to Frankie Beverly it up there, man. He was, Frankie was one of those people for us, man. He was definitely a sex symbol. He was smooth. He was cool. He was that uncle that we all loved. And his music just resonated with us, man, like just culturally on every level, man. So I remember I was a DJ in college in '83, my junior year, and the We Are One album came out, and I got to play I Love You Much Too Much. I Love You Too Much, man. And I mean, man, people would call back to back because it was a Quiet Storm type show. Oh, wow. And they said, what is this feeling? Can't eat a bite. Man, I just still remember how famous I was because I played the song.
Melba talked about how smooth Frankie was. Y'all, look at this photo right here. Man, it was a lot of brothers that they were nervous when they woman would meet Frankie at the meet and greet.
Very sexy.
He's the first Chris Brown.
Jeffrey, did y'all ever tour together?
Yeah, we did. We never really toured together, but we were out almost every weekend, every week together. I mean, back in 70s, like 77, 78, we were always together. Frankie and LTD. I mean, and then I toured with him a lot with as a solo artist. The one thing I remember about Frankie is that every time I did a show with him, just before he came on, they cleared the hallway, and they said, "Maze is coming. Get to clear the hallway," and they cleared everybody out the hallway so Frankie would come.
Wait a minute, hold up. You know what? Let me tell you why that's hilarious. Because I'm gonna find a video too, because that literally happened in St. Louis in June. Yeah. So Melba, Regina Bell, actually, they brought her in as a special guest to surprise Frankie. Man, they cleared the hallway. She was like, I'm actually the surprise guest for Frankie. Baby, you gotta move back.
Yeah, get out too, Regina.
They made everybody move back.
Right, they made everybody move back, and then this little small man come out. I was like, man, y'all tripping. We ain't had to clear the whole hallway. I'll say this here, Anthony. It's amazing to me how many times I've been to other artists' shows, and they gonna sing a Frankie Beverly Maze song.
Absolutely. It's because he had hits that was steeped in like just culture. Like you've heard them all. You probably got a whooping to one of them. You probably heard mama and daddy in there dancing behind us, to one of them. So he had those songs, the cookout, the drunk uncle, and the chick dick, all that. So Frankie, you have to sing that because it's in your blood. You don't even know you're singing it sometimes.
Also, Melba, why I think that is also great, because you may be having an off night, but you throw a Frankie Beverly Mays song on. It's like the preacher who ain't preaching well, but when he go to the cross, he gonna get an automatic amen.
Well, I know Frankie because we were label mates. That's where I first met him, and I got the privilege of somehow being paired up with him. So I toured with him too because we were both on Capitol Records together.
I found it, Jeffrey. I'm gonna pull up in a second when they cleared the hallway out. I'm always see. Everybody dogged me. Said no this. They all dogged me at the golf tournaments, talking about Roland always got his damn camera. But then they all want to say, man, can you make sure we get that video? Because you the only one who had the shot.
The only one got it.
Oh yeah.
You get the shots.
Matter of fact, here it is right here. Go to it. Let's see here. That's them. Hold on, let me try to play it. Them clearing us out. We had to go way the hell back. I was like, man, y'all know he know who I am. Stop it. Let me go around each one. Jeffrey, your go-to Frankie Beverly Mays song.
Well, my go-to is Joy and Pain. That's the one. I mean, that was like one of the first hits he had, and it was just, one of those songs. I mean, Frankie was just a groover, man. He knew how to groove. He could just put you right in that moment of grooving. So, but Joy and Pain was my favorite. I know most people's Before I Let Go. I mean, that's the barbecue picnic song.
That's a barbecue
Joy
song.
and Pain has a special meaning to me. It's a great song.
Actually, mine is Feel That You're Feeling.
Oh, really?
From Live in L.A.
Yeah.
Oh, that's one of them. Anthony, what's yours?
After the morning after.
Yeah.
I was like, he talking about something happened last night.
Whoopsie.
Melba, what's your go-to?
Well, definitely, I want to thank you because that was the last one I was able to sing with him and on this last thank you tour. So that's one that's right in front of my heart right here.
Say it. You named one earlier, but do you have another one?
Oh man, I got a million of them. I'm Frankie Beverly out around here, man. But while I'm alone, that's one of my go-tos. Golden Time of Day, that's one of my go-tos. Yeah. After the morning after, he killed that one. Just joint. He got joints, man. I run to them all, man. I'm Frankie Beverly out over here, man.
My last question for y'all, and I asked this question literally over the last 20 years, and I want to hear from each one of you. What was it about their music? They didn't win Grammys. They didn't win American Music Awards. They didn't win a Soul Train Award. Their first award was a Trumpet Award. They didn't put out any new stuff. You knew exactly what they were gonna sing. I keep saying white folks had the Grateful Dead and Fish. Yeah. Black people had Frankie Beverly and Mays. They were the only group outside of Prince that could make you wear the same outfit. Because when Jeffrey would wear them sheer shirts, none of us wearing the sheer shirt.
Don't start, man.
You still got them too.
Jeffrey, you knew I was gonna bring up the sheer shirts, Jeffrey. So, but start with Melba. What was it? What made their music just so different? What was it?
It had a certain fingerprint mood and groove, and it didn't need to change. It's magnetic. I think it's just well, I hate to be religious, it's the presence of God. You can't, it's not going to get old, you can't. And it's part of the fabric. I mean, when the intro starts, you're already in. And of course, now you know it's Frankie. But if you didn't know it, you'd have to love it. He knows how to do chord changes. I think he wrote all of those songs, which I think is incredible. And so it's him, it's his vibe, it's his charisma. That's a fancy word for it, but it's a magnetism that's irresistible, and it's nothing to change. Why fix it if it ain't broke?
Yeah.
Say, what was it for you? What was it? What?
Man, it was, I mean, of course, it was the tone of his voice, a very, very smooth, melodic voice, and the songwriting. I mean, it's so simple, and he just speaks right to you. Like, I was just thinking about that, I love you much too much. He just, is just like, what is this feeling? Can't eat a bite, work till I'm tired, can't sleep at night. It's just like it's so right there, everything you're trying to say at a moment. And he's got it in such a smooth melody and his vocal tone. And the music is tight, the band is tight. They tight like Earth, Wind, and Fire. They was another tight band. People don't really trip off how dope Maze was as a band. They just so solid.
Anthony.
I think it's the way he just relaxed into the music. He didn't try too hard. He didn't have to be more than what he was. And I think it was so beautiful in its own purest form that you didn't understand, like, wow, he didn't do too much, but I feel like he's giving me everything I ever needed. And then the tone of his voice, like Sid said, man, he had his own tone. Like when you hear him, you know exactly who that is. And I think the classic sound and the band made a big difference because when you saw them live, they sound exactly like the rest.
Yes.
And it's so hard to forget that feeling that you got live. So you want to hear that again. So he put you in a cycle, man, and a cycle of good music and good times.
Jeffrey, bring us home.
Well, for me, it was simplicity, because I always say that beauty is simplicity. And he just gave you that space. Nothing got in the way. He would put that groove, everything fit in a space. It just had a vibe. And he sat right in the middle of it. And it touches you. It touches your soul because it's so simple. It's so organic. But it's not everybody can do that. He was a true artist, and he knew how to touch your soul.
And the other thing is this here. He was a musician. I just want to give people a little taste of this here. Just go ahead, pull the audio up. Check this out. That is what all four of y'all said. When that hits, you know what's about to happen. You know what's coming. You like, oh, everybody's staying up. He ain't even said nothing yet.
Right. He even starts.
Touch your soul, baby.
And then live in New Orleans where he doing Joy Pain and the crowd singing. When we first heard that at the Sanger, it's like I remember as a young performer, I ended up going to the Sanger, as a stand-up, and I had to sing it while I was there because I was on stage, and I made everybody sing with me, Joy and Pain, because of that moment that he got out of it. It just felt like you needed to have the spirit of that moment happen when you in that venue.
Yeah.
And it was like, I know y'all can sing too. I know y'all can sing too now.
Well, you can tell this was from the Tom Joyner cruise, and man, the crowd was grooving. They had the lights, they had the whole deal. They controlled it. We appreciate all four of you sharing your thoughts as we celebrate Frankie Beverly, Melba Moore, Anthony Hamilton, Seth the Entertainer, and my man Jeffrey Osborne. Jeffrey, I hate I missed your golf tournament. COVID put me on my ass, but
you're feeling better, baby.
I
hope you're better.
I'll be back. Matter of fact, I miss both of y'all.
Yeah, you missed mine too.
You and Sid. So that's right. Next year, a month before y'all tournament, I'm being masked up everywhere.
All right.
Looking
forward to seeing you.
Y'all take care. We appreciate it.
All right, y'all, man. Great job, man.
Much love to Frankie's family, man.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, folks. Do this here. Yeah, just go ahead and roll that video as Carol's going to get set up for our next round of guests. Let's just enjoy Frankie Beverly. I'm telling you, man. Man, just so many memories. Again, we were on the cruise, and man, we were just shooting. It was all kind of videos that I was shooting. The crowd, all kind of different stuff. And I remember folks you said, they tell me, Roland, you can't shoot all them videos. I was like, we're gonna need them one day. Y'all sitting here tripping. It's amazing to see. I got so many different things of Frankie Beverly Mays in concert in D.C., on a cruise, in New Orleans. I mean, all over. They were absolutely amazing. As I was telling y'all, we're going to be sharing that one-on-one interview. Actually, here's a little bit more. Let me go ahead. I want to play this video. Y'all go ahead and roll this.
So much going on in crazy. Trouble when I tell you something, I'm not gonna let it I've been going through some funky changes. Changes are the same. Yes, it is. We like to joy, but we can't really stand.
And now, folks, we were at the, and I just found this here. We were at the Urban. I told y'all I got so much stuff. I forgot what I have. We were at the Urban One Honors. They honored Frankie Beverly this year. And I'm just gonna play it from this phone. We were at the Urban One Honors, and so we were at the after party. And don't think Frankie Beverly was just gonna sit around in the corner, y'all. No, Frankie was gonna get out there on that dance floor. And so check this out.
Come on, Frankie! Come on, Frankie! Come on, Doc! Let's get it! You make me happy. I got you.
She said the light was too bright for her. All right, folks, we want to bring in our next round of guests. Joining us right now is Jonte Austin, Grammy Award-winning singer and songwriter. We also have joining us is Ron Smith. Glad to have Ron Smith with us as well. And we also have Ed Lewis, co-founder of Essence Magazine. And I want to start with you, Ed, because you said, as long as I'm running this, May is gonna close out Essence Fest, and man, it was always something. The audience, listen, they knew exactly what they gonna sing. They were not gonna deviate from the playlist, and you knew how they gonna open, how they gonna close, but they always turned out the Superdome.
No doubt about it. You know, when Essence began the festival in 1995, we were in my office and talking about acts who would really be quite wonderful in being at the festival. And many of my staff members didn't know about Frankie. And I was at the Madison Square Garden listening to, oh my God, the name escapes me at the moment, Tony Braxton. There were 18,000 people, and he opened for Tony Braxton. And I never saw so many 18,000 people dancing in the aisles. I said, oh my God, who is this man? And so when the Essence Festival came together, there was no doubt in my mind that he should be there, and what he was able to do for the next 15 years in closing the show just brought the kind of joy, happiness, togetherness, just a spontaneous electric slide that made us all feel good, and really, I believe, made the Essence Festival even more special. For the word had passed along that you need to be at Essence, you need to see Frankie Beverly and Maze.
Ron, you were with Maze. You're a former band member of Maze. Just share with us.
Yes.
What was it like to work with him, to be in partnership with him, to be on the road with him, and to be on those massive stages and look up and see this sea of black people in white, as Ed just said, line dancing, filling the aisles, and having a great time?
Oh, it was nothing like it. It was an incredible experience. And Frankie was such a, consummate musician. A lot of people don't realize his rhythm guitar playing was incredible. It's something that was hard for me to even duplicate and really couldn't duplicate. And that's what kept us together, that he guided the band with his guitar playing. And seeing the people, it was unbelievable. I never seen anything like that. And I played with a few artists, but just the people, the reaction, and seeing those people, especially at the Essence, hit that electric slide, man, it was unbelievable.
Jonte, you're a singer-songwriter, and that's what Frankie Beverly was. He wrote many of these songs. And so it's a different thing when you're a singer and you're writing songs versus having somebody write songs for you. And so he embodied the song. He felt it. And Melba said it earlier. It was like a spiritual thing between him and the audience.
No, absolutely. And Ed spoke to it. It was togetherness. You know what I mean? Like the songs, the way that he sang them, the way that he interacted with the audience, it highlighted, Black togetherness, Black joy, Black love, Black fun. All of the songs, Southern Girl, Joy and Pain, Before I Let Go, these were staples, at all of our cultural things, be it cookouts, be it weddings, wherever. Frankie provided the soundtrack for culture.
Ed, you said something that I thought was important when you said that a lot of folks didn't know who he was, and that was the amazing thing, that here you can have a band that, again, they didn't have number one hits. They didn't win all these awards, but the fan base was so loyal, so dedicated. Again, I've seen all these different groups, and there's no shade, and I love the OJs and the Commodores and the Kool and the Gang and Earth, Wind and Fire, but they had a cult.
Yes, they did. I mean, every song that he performed, the audience knew the words, every word, and danced to the music, danced to the togetherness, and that was something to behold. I used to tell people, you really need to come and see what happens that last evening and see how people respond.
Oh, yeah. I remember John, I was at CNN, and John Klein was the president, and I said, John, I'm telling y'all, this is a documentary. And I always wanted to do, and so when I was at TV One, I always wanted to do this documentary. And what ended up happening was, when we had done an interview in 2016, and they were taking forever, and then when they canceled my show in 2017, we got word December 9th, and our last day was like December 21st. And I was like, yo, as long as I got control of this damn hour, we running that damn special. And so I made them edit that stuff. And so a lot of the video that you see that's actually in that special, I actually shot. I was like, yo, we getting this on because the story was so important, Ron, that connection. And I really, the vision that I had, and I actually mentioned it to Frankie. He said his son was doing one. I don't know whatever happened with that, but I really felt that Frankie Beverly and Mays deserved a major documentary to answer the question, what was it about, what is it about their music that creates such fervor for Black people? Ron, what do you think it is?
Oh, man, that's a tough one. It was something that just attracted the people, and I've never seen an audience respond like they did. And it was a trip because a lot of the men were bigger fans than the women. And I remember shows where guys would be out there checking out the girls. You could see them. And then when the band came on, they was knocking them same girls out the way because they wanted to be at the front of the stage. And then sometimes they would end up dancing with each other, but didn't know it. So if you had video of them dancing together, they would have been like, oh, man, what are we doing, you know? I mean, it was just, I don't know. It was just something about that band. I noticed it before I got with them because I played with Patti LaBelle before I got with them.
Yep.
And we did some dates together. And at that time, they only had 3 albums out, but the audience, it was incredible. I mean, the reception from the audience was just unbelievable. And then once I got in there and experienced it for myself, I was like, man, this is some different stuff here. So I don't know. Something about the songs, the grooves, and Frank drove us. He drove us real hard. He was no joke when it came to keeping the pocket. Because guys listen to me and listen to my parts, and they talk about how tight I play the grooves. I said that's because he was, demanding me and schooling me. He let me know when I was rushing, when I was dragging. I'm thinking, hey, this is all right to me. For him, no. And so I had to learn those things. And all of that, I think, breeds into the attraction, that people had. The grooves were so solid.
Yep.
They were solid. Yeah.
John Tay, I would say that was a special seasoning. That was a secret sauce that they had with the music that, frankly, you cannot replicate.
No, absolutely not. They were, it's interesting you say seasoning, because I was going to say they're like your favorite restaurant that you've been going to for the last 20 years. You know how it's going to be. It's never lost its standard. Keep in mind, Frankie and Mays never put an album out after 1995. And they didn't need to, you know what I mean? And so it's because it's that consistency.
No, I am not lying. I played the clip earlier. They were at a concert and they said, yeah, we working on some new stuff. The audience started laughing.
Right. Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, all right, yeah, whatever. Go ahead and sing them old songs.
Because he's been saying that for years.
Yeah, that's what we wanted. We wanted that consistency. We knew every year at Essence Fest, and then every city kind of became its own Essence Fest, because if Frankie was coming to town, we're gonna wear all white. If we're gonna sing these songs, it's gonna be a joyous occasion. That's, like you say, it's the secret sauce, but it really is that, it's the happiness that came, watching Frankie and singing with Frankie. And it's something that spoke, to our souls, to our spirit.
Ed, that was a point. That was a point when they didn't close. And I think they came back 5 years later. And it was very interesting. And again, this year was the first time I had missed Essence, I think since 2007. I was in Ethiopia. And what was interesting was I think it was like a 4 or 5 year period.
Yes.
It felt weird.
It did, regrettably. And if I had still continued to be there, which I was not, because I had already sold the company, as far as I was concerned, he would always have been there with respect to closing that show, because he meant so much in terms of he connected with the audience. And he had a love for his people, and he wanted to do his best to make us all feel good. And that came through. That came through with the love and response that people wanted to show him, and he wanted to show them. I'm for you, and I'm here for you, and I'm going to give you the best that I can to make you feel good.
We are one.
Just in case y'all, that song, We Are One. Just in case the audience, y'all thought I was laughing, this is a photo, I found it, of the dressing room of Frankie. He had 9 white hats, and they were all the same. And I was like, Frankie, you could have brought just 2. But so y'all thought I was joking. I was not joking. He absolutely will be missed. The music will live forever. And I just think you're right, Ed. Somebody in the group chat said, man, I wish I had gone to a Maze concert. And I told folk the same thing. And I'm looking for the video. I know I have it, but my first Essence Festival, I wasn't rolling. So I was in somebody's way the hell up. I wasn't with the Coca-Cola VIPs like I've been the last decade. But here's why it was amazing to be up there. So I'm in a suite way up, and Maze is performing, and I had a video. I'm gonna find it, and the whole Superdome was line dancing.
Yes.
They're not just line dancing on the floor.
Yeah.
They line dancing in the seats.
Yeah.
And I shot this, and it's just what Ed said when he saw in New York. I said, damn. And now, mind you, my cousin's former husband, he went to Prairie View. And he used to always talk about Maze doing Prairie View's homecoming. I remember him telling us a story. They had a road trip to Florida, and they literally listened to Maze from Houston to Florida and back. I was like, that y'all didn't change the artist? And so I was a junior high school student, but that experience, when I saw it, I said, no, I know what the hell he was talking about. It was unbelievable to be that high up in the Superdome in a suite and to see the whole Superdome.
Yes.
Just
yes.
moving in group. It was stunning. Ed, close us out.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, what can I say? Dear Lord, I thank you for bringing someone so special to make us all feel good as a people. Frankie, we love you, and thank you for all that you've done for us.
Ed Lewis, John Tay, Ron, gentlemen, I appreciate y'all joining us. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ron.
Folks, again, Frankie will be missed. And I'm just going to tell you a couple of stories. When we did the special on the interview with Frankie. Don't show this video yet. Don't show the video yet. We did the special with them. We aired it, and a little bit later, that month, I ran the photos I showed you from MGM Grand. He was in a concert, and I went backstage, and he had cleared the dressing room out, and he and I was back there with my parents. We were all, chatting, and Frankie began to talk about the interview. And I thought I had the picture on my phone, but I don't. And he said so his longtime partner, Pam Moore, television anchor in San Francisco. I've known Pam. I met Pam through NABJ. So I actually met Pam before I even knew Frankie. That was 35 years ago at NABJ at our convention in New York in 1989. And he told me that Pam had made him dinner. She had recorded the special and had made him dinner. And while I'm talking to y'all, I'm looking for this photo, so bear with me. And he said that she put it on, and he said about 15, 20 minutes in, had to stop it because tears were just coming down. Because what we did was we had interviewed a bunch of people, and we had them talking about what was about their music. Some of those interviews were lost and drove me crazy, like one with Usher and some other people. I was so hot. But luckily we found a lot of it. And Frankie said he had to stop it. And tears he was just crying. Now he's telling me this story, and he's literally crying. As he's telling me the story, he's crying, and that's who he was. He was a very emotional person. In the interview, and you're gonna see this in about 5 minutes, he was emotional in the interview, talking about that love from the fans. A lot of people said, Frankie, your voice is gone, retire. A lot of folks said he should have retired 5 years ago. They said he should have retired a long time ago. No. I think it's somewhat fitting that he ends his run in July, and here we are in September. He's now an ancestor. He left it all on the stage. He left it all there. And a consummate artist, a genuine man who I love to text, love to talk with, love to see him. And what I'm about to play for y'all, this was April 8th, 2017. We're on the Tom Joyner Morning Show cruise. It's 4 a.m. They performed earlier, and so y'all are gonna see there was a section over there. Jubu was over there, Rome, Frankie, and so it's 4 o'clock. Yeah, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. And the DJ puts on a Frankie Beverly and Maze song. Now, I told y'all I always got my camera. I'm always ready. And because of that, we captured this amazing 4-minute and 50-second moment. Stanley Beverly. Dead at the age of 77. And we will never forget that moment there. The hug at the end and him giving the peace sign. He's no longer with us in body, but he is still with us in spirit. Folks, coming up next, encore presentation of my TV One special from 2017 called Simply Amazing, a one-on-one with Frankie Beverly. This has been a Black Star Network special. We'll be right back. A special edition of News One Now, a conversation with the front man of one of the most prolific bands in modern music history, Frankie Beverly. We'll chat about his musical roots, the evolution of May, the unique relationship, a conversation with the front man of one of the most prolific bands in modern music history for their illustrious music career. We'll chat about his musical roots, 40 years, the evolution of May, Beverly has been the relationship behind the band's amazing African-American fan base and the foundation for their illustrious music careers. Golden Time of Day and Before Frankie Beverly has been the voice behind the band's amazing, unfiltered more than most musicians will see in a lifetime. Happy Feelings. Golden Time of Day and Before I Let Go, Soul Train Awards rhythms have experienced mainstream more than most musicians has endeared themselves to a devoted African-American fan base. Never won a Grammy Award, American Music Award, no family reunion or wedding is complete without their music success. But the band has endeared themselves to a devoted African-American fan base. And no barbecue, no family reunion or wedding Frankie Beverly is without the creative spark of this phenomenon. The family get together. He simply, along with his arsenal of music anthems and broad spectrum of musical influences, Frankie Beverly is the creative spark of this phenomenon. He simply,
music that has always been a part of the movement socially, what's been going on. They do feel good music, but they also do soul music that speaks to the generation. It's music that has always been a part of the movement socially, what's been going on. We need to get back to that too. They also do soul music that speaks to the generation, speaks to what's going on, what we do, because we love what we do. So we use this as a platform to get back to that too. And I think Frankie Beverly is amazing as this artist.
Frankie Beverly and Maze are road warriors. They're always out there gigging. I mean, you can't pick up a newspaper or anything out without seeing Frankie Beverly and Maze. Frankie Beverly and Maze. Frankie Beverly and Maze are ever since they've been going. They're always out there gigging. I mean, you can't pick up a newspaper or anything out without seeing Frankie Beverly and Maze. Frankie Beverly and Maze everywhere in the world ever since they've been going. They're that.
It just shows you it's real music, real instruments, and it comes from his soul. If you ever seen him perform, it's from his soul. Made an album in like 52 I've seen him at least 15 times, and he's probably performed over 800,000 times. It just shows you it's real music, real and every time I've seen him, and it comes from his soul. Like if you ever seen him perform, like probably the first day he ever wrote and performed a song. I've seen him at least 15 times.
I mean, I remember growing up and
over 800,000
playing in the house, and also just going to so many jazz, like Sinbad jazz festivals. I used to go to that, and Sinbad would have them there. I mean, I remember growing up and great memories of playing in the house, and also just going to so many jazz, like Sinbad jazz festivals. I used to go to that, and Sinbad would have them there, and it was just bring back great memories of good R&B. You know what I mean?
Takes me into a whole nother space and like really kind of gets me into a vacation or chill out mode no matter where I'm at. The sunset, so that song just puts me into a whole nother space and like really kind of gets me into a vacation or chill out mode no matter where I'm at.
And what's interesting is, and I'll never forget, you performing in Dallas.
Y'all good?
And y'all been at this thing long before you guys came on. And what's interesting, you came out there and you said, hey, work on this new album. And I'll never forget, the whole audience cracked up laughing. They just cracked the laugh like, man, whatever. You know what? Sing what we know. And you came out there and you said, hey, work on this new album.
It's a deeper
and the whole
relationship
audience cracked up
between Maze and
they just cracked the laugh like, man, whatever.
I
you know
can't
what?
put
Sing
my
what
finger
we
on
know.
it.
but I recognize it, and that is true. So that's why they don't care. Yes, they want something amazing, but it's not people. It's the record business kind of thing. I can't put my finger on it, but I recognize it, and people will forget you. So that's why they don't care. Yes, they want something, and it's not into the record business kind of thing. Now, you better put something out soon. It amazes me. People will forget you. To this day, but that never happened with us. So
the reason why I like Joy and Pain is because that's what their music is. Their music is about happiness. Their music is about sadness. It's about reflection. It makes you feel good. It evokes the reason why I like Joy and Pain is because that's what their music is. Their music is about happiness. Their music is about sadness. It's about reflection.
One of the reasons we love art as a collective, as humanity, is because we recognize the highs and lows, and we see ourselves in it. And Frankie Beverly and Maze. One of the reasons we love art as a collective, as humanity, is because we recognize
that's just
the
like
highs and
family
lows,
reunion. That
and we
just
see
brings back
ourselves
all
in it.
the
And Frankie Beverly
nostalgic
and
moments
Maze,
in my head. You know, it's just like before I let go. That's the song. I feel like everyone knows that's the family reunion. That just brings back all the nostalgic moments in my head. You know, it's just like
everything about him is fabulous.
That's the song that everyone knows. That's the cape. So before I let go, I think so. Yeah.
You can't pick one. Everything about him is fabulous.
It's got to be love.
What would you say?
It's bigger stuff going on.
What makes your music so unique?
This is not just
it touches people in a different way.
Or me or something. There's other things going on in the background. Bigger stuff going on. We have the helper. This is not just us for us. I believe me or something. I'm a believer. Other things going on in the background. We have a helper, and it's about that does this for us. I believe that. That's the difference between Maze and Maze. I believe in Jesus. People. I look out on this man, and I see people getting along. It's just the difference between Maze and Maze. Just everything.
You got grandmama and
I look out on this man,
and
I see people getting along. It's just amazing. You know, it's just inspiring.
And multi-generational.
Just everything.
You got grandmama and grandfather and their children and their kids.
It's just so this is like unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Just enthuses me. I don't know if there's another act. I'm the.
Oh no.
This kind of thing is happening.
Oh no.
So this is like unbelievable.
I've told people, I've said this. In fact, I remember
I don't know if there's another act.
I said it too.
Oh no, this kind of thing is happening.
No. I'm being fish. I've told people, I've said this. In fact, I remember
I said it's
when I was on CNN. I said
they come into town.
White folks got
you ain't
Grateful
even thought about a new song. I'm going.
And you know you're going to party.
I said, it's
you can bring your kids with you.
They come into town.
You're not worried about folks being butt naked.
Thought about a new song.
You're not worried about any of that.
And you know
it's going to be about an absolute. And you can bring your kids with you. You know you're not worried about folks being butt naked. You're not worried about cursing. You're not worried about any of that. You know it's going to be about an absolute good time.
We're going to get down. We're going to have a good time.
So when you're singing and the whole joint is singing lyrics, and you can just stand there and just to go. You can literally walk off stage, go get some water, go get something to eat. So when you're singing, can actually take a nap, and the whole joint is singing all lyrics. All the band got to do is just stand there and just they gonna start singing. You can literally walk off stage, go get some water, go get something to eat. You can actually take a nap because all the band got to do is just switch the song. They gonna start singing whatever the band.
Y'all sing. Okay, we right. I mean, you're actually right. I mean, there's times when I'm hoarse and stuff, and that just saves me. The people just, y'all sing. Okay, we got it.
Y'all paid. Come here.
It's just unbelievable, man. It is, and it makes us work hard and make us do everything we can to maintain this thing that we have. It is, and it makes us work hard.
Happy Feelings, though, because it makes me happy.
Make us do
and I think,
everything
like
we can
Melinda said,
to
it's their feel-good music.
This thing that we have.
It feels good. It makes you happy, and that's what I want in my life. And I think that's why they have such longevity. It's like they've been around forever. They don't get old. It makes you happy, and that's what I want.
Happy feelings everywhere. It
that's why they have such longevity. It's like they've been around forever. They don't.
It just automatically puts you in that mood, a good mood.
Happy feelings.
Happy feelings everywhere. It's one of those songs that makes you feel happy. When that thing comes on, it just automatically puts you in that mood, a good mood. And that's one of my favorite Frankie Beverly and Mays songs.
In his hometown of Philadelphia. Folks, don't touch that dial. My conversation continues with Frankie Beverly. What chat about his musical roots continues right in his early career years as a doo-wop singer in his hometown of Philadelphia. Folks, don't touch that dial. Simply amazing. The conversation with Frankie Beverly continues right here on TV1.
I got so much in the and they used to call me Little Frankie. No. It's to sing on the corner. They pitch me quarters and to sing. I sang every song.
I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Fanbase is a free to download, free to use, next generation social media platform that allows anyone to have followers and subscribers on the same page. Fanbase was built. Fanbase is free to download, equity crowdfunding from the next generation social media platform. People just like you help build Fanbase. Anyone to have followers and subscribers on the same page. Fanbase is currently raising $17 million for regulation crowdfunding from the jobs engine. People just like you help build $2.1 million. And we're looking to raise more capital from people just like you. You're currently raising $17 million in a regulation and crowdfund on Start Engine. Without having to already crossed $2.1 million. So right now, we're looking to raise more capital from people just like you that deserve the opportunity to invest in early stage startups. To invest is having to be accredited investors. That gets you 60 shares of stock. Unlike Fanbase, go to startengine.com/fanbase and then use Fanbase. The minimum to connect with friends is $399. Grow your audience and get you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase right now, today. And then use Fanbase to connect with friends, grow your audience, and be you without limits.
I saw them in Vegas not that long ago, and I sang every song, and I'm like, am I dating myself? I don't care. I'm singing every song. I don't want to curse, but I really feel it.
What makes them special is the fact that they've been able to have
I saw them in Vegas not that long ago, and I sang every song, and I'm like, am I dating myself?
Not too many people get to make music that is going to transcend generations, and their music continues to transcend. Have a career that lasts, my lifetime. I mean, not too many people get to make music that is going to transcend generations, and their music continues to transcend. So it's great.
Song. My favorite. Everyone's on the dance floor. Your grandmother, your aunt, before I let go. Been in 5 weddings in the last 3 years. It's the perfect and reception family reunion song. It just sums it all up. Everyone's on the dance floor. Your grandmother, your aunt, your uncles, the kids. It's the perfect reception family reunion song. It just sums it all up.
Mays being a West Coast. You said you are y'all didn't start off West Coast.
Not at all.
Where did this whole thing begin?
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
And people think in terms of Mays being
not
West Coast. But y'all didn't start off West Coast.
Not at all.
Where did this whole thing begin?
Great city, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Glad I was born and raised. That is not West Coast. Kind of prepares you for what life is. Trust me, it is not West Coast. Some of the greatest music ever. Glad I was born and raised. People raised there. Kind of prepares you for what life is. It's a good place to be raised because it really some of the greatest music ever. But you're gonna have to down and dirty people, and the same thing in everything you do. In music, it's a good place. Same thing. I used to be raised. Sing in the church. It's about the time Frankie Beverly came and just turned my whole life. And the same thing in everything you do. He got me. My name is Howard. Sing in the church. My name is not Frankie. The time Frankie Lyman came, it just my mother named me that ugly name. Howard. He got me.
Howard Beverly.
My name is Howard. Howard. My name is not Frankie. So much into Frankie Lyman. My mother named me that ugly sing on the corner. They pitch me quarters. Howard. To sing, I sang every song. So much into Frankie. And they used to call me Little Frankie. No. It's to sing on the corner.
And that's how you became Frankie
Beverly. To sing, I sang every song. And they used to call me Little Frankie. Nails, man. So he just turned my whole life.
Frankie Beverly.
That's who Frankie Beverly is. I mean, this guy came from tooth and nails, man. Tried used to be around turned my whole life. Town New grew up with Teddy, Frankie, Hal Melvin, and all those Cat Patty, all of us, we had a little different kind of little thing. And Tried used to be around with Town New grew up with Teddy and Had that Al Melvin and all those. Made some 45, all of us, you know. We had a little different kind of little pretty good records. Went from we used to call the Butlers. They had after we got going to, as I say, some 45s, 60s, you know, got out of the singing group thing. And I decided, and as a matter of fact, the group broke up. And after we got going, the Beatles, as I say, broke us up. Some of the guys got out of the singing group. Made some of the guys in the group. And I decided, and as a matter of fact, the group broke up. The Beatles broke us up. Some of the guys were the Beatles made some of the guys in the group broke the group up. I was sitting around, I was living with a pimp. I was grabbing an instrument and doing it just like I had, you know, my father, you know. So it real broke the
like this singing stuff, ain't it?
I quit a job. I was sitting around, I was living with a pimp. I quit a job.
You were living with a pimp in Philadelphia.
I had to, you know, my father, you know.
Yeah.
And because we rehearsed
late
like
that night,
I quit a job, boy.
Yeah.
I quit a job. He found out about that when he got home, man. He got me. That's what that I want to say.
Yeah.
And because we rehearsed late that night before I could get up and kill back.
Yeah.
Man, he found out about that when he got home. Get your behind. I'm telling you, my mother was like, put that boy out here. Go upstairs. Go upstairs. I'm telling you, man. And put me out, man. Get your behind. My mother was like, put me out, man. I don't care. I'm telling you, man. But this man put me out, man. For wasn't for him.
Well, Daddy said, we already gave his name up, so I ain't putting our son out.
Put me out, man. You know, they coming up in the time. But this man, and that's all he's been. You better, you know, I know you can sing, but I learned with him, you know, and I had to learn that. Up in the time, I learned it. You better, me and my father got tight. And that's all he did. You better, you know, I know you can sing, but we, you know, and I had to learn that. And I learned it. Me and my father got tight as you could be.
I mean, I like a lot of the songs. I think it's impactful because
you live and you learn.
It speaks to so many generations. I mean, they can work the same album on tour for the next 20 years, and it's great melodies. It's real music. It's kind of where it all started. It's impactful because
Frankie Beverly,
it speaks to so many generations. I mean, they can work the same album on tour for the next 20 years, and it's great melodies. It's real music. It's kind of where it all started.
Everyone starts singing, it becomes Frankie Beverly karaoke. I just think that his songs are just fun.
I grew up on that. That's how I got
here. Vibrant, and they just want to have a good time. I think he represents that. You know, at that point, when everyone starts singing, it becomes Frankie Beverly karaoke. I just think that his songs are just fun. You know, they're fun and they're vibrant, and you just want to have a good time. I think he represents that.
Does it ever cross your mind what you would be doing?
It crosses my mind.
The reason I ask that question because there are a lot of people who had a dream of singing.
It crosses my mind.
The reason I ask that question because there are a lot of people that didn't persevere who, and they may be watching this, they may have passed on, but they gave up and they quit. They gave 68. They didn't persevere. And they have regrets. And they may be watching this, they may have passed on. I can't imagine that because that's what made me say.
They
are 68.
That's what made me say, man.
And they have
regrets. I'll say to anybody, don't you dare, man. I can't imagine that. Like more than that's what made me say. Like you say, don't pursue. That's what made me say that. And I'll say to anybody, don't you dare. Gift, whatever. Like all of us have a thing. Most people, like you say, don't pursue. The gift, some of us know it too, and you know, gift, whatever. They all of us have a thing.
We talk about
all of us.
Instruments.
And some of us know it too, and you know, it's hard.
Who do you like to listen to? We talk about instruments.
You know, in my
music,
where I'm at now in my life, I'm an old schooler.
Who did you like to listen to?
I like jazz more than ever in my life. In my where I'm at now in my life, I love this old schooler. I like things, but jazz more than I will also go on like ever in my life. International play a lot. I love Miles Davis. I love what other people do too. I just thing. But I will also go on like hit breaker type thing. International not so much into that. What other people do too. I don't have. If I have to go with people that hit breaker type thing, I'm not so much into that. That I really love. I like all sorts. It would have to be old school. I don't have. If I have to go with people that sing the older Sarah Vaughan that I really love, and I would have to be old stuff like that. Charlie Parker, the old singing, the old. You know, I just kind of really like Sarah Vaughan and the great songs, you know, stuff like that. Charlie Parker. You know, I just kind of really like that.
Laid back kind of girl, songs, you know what I mean? Because I'm a laid back kind of guy, so I like a laid back kind of girl. And you can go Joy and Pain, you can just go on and on, you know what I mean? Laid back, golden time of the girl, you know what I mean? Because I'm a laid back kind of guy, so I like a laid back kind of girl. Every emotion, you can go that's inside Joy and Pain, you can just go on and on. I always love seeing them in concert. Golden time of the day, until the day they stop singing music, I'm going to continue to listen to them, touches on everything, every emotion that's inside of you.
That's like picking your favorite child.
I always love seeing them in concert, and until the day they stop singing music, I'm going to continue to listen to them, continue to go to their concerts.
It's an impossible question. That's like picking your favorite child. No way. You can't do that.
My favorite song?
Who's your favorite child? Come on. You can't pick one.
It's a lot of them. It's kind of hard.
It's an impossible question. You can't. No way.
My favorite song?
After the night before.
I don't know. It's a lot of them. It's kind of hard. I like that one.
After the morning after.
Know that one?
Oh, after the night before.
Next, the conversation heats up when Frankie Beverly breaks down being broke. So broke, in fact, that he had to live with a pimp. Yeah, you heard me right. Wait until you hear this story. Next, the conversation heats up when Frankie Beverly breaks down being broke. Help him get his financial footing, in fact, bring Frankie Beverly and Mays to life. Folks, you're watching Simply Amazing. Wait until you hear this conversation with Frankie Beverly, the soulful singer Marvin Gaye. Help him get his financial footing and bring Frankie Beverly and Mays to life. Folks, you're watching Simply Amazing, a conversation with Frankie Beverly right here on TV1.
He originally wanted to produce paid about a year back. So years went because we didn't have much. The man was taking care of us. He bought us new equipment. Paid about a year back rent because we didn't have much, man. We all lived together.
In 2016, Donald Trump said he would choose only the best people to work in his White House. Now those people have a warning for America. Trump is not fit to be president again. In 2016, Donald Trump said he would choose only the best people to work in his White House. Now those people have a warning for America. Trump is not fit to be president again. His defense secretary.
Do you think Trump can be trusted with the nation's secrets ever again?
No. I mean, it's just irresponsible action that places our service members at risk, places our nation's security at risk.
His national security advisor.
Do you think Trump can be trusted with the nation's secrets ever again?
No. I mean, it's just irresponsible action that places our service members at risk, places our nation's security at risk.
We don't take an oath to a king.
Donald Trump will cause a lot of damage. The only thing he cares about is Donald Trump.
And the nation's highest-ranking military officer. Donald Trump is a danger to our troops and our democracy. We can't let him lead our country again.
We don't take an oath to a wannabe dictator.
Take it from the people who knew him best. Donald Trump is a danger to our troops and our democracy. We can't let him lead our country again.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Because the group broke up. So I didn't know what to do. He was a drummer, old drummer. This was an older guy.
Right.
Cared about me. Really good. Broke up. Good guy. So I didn't know what to do. He suggested one night. He was a drummer, old drummer. Let's take you up to Eastern cared about me. I want you to see Harold Melvin, good guy. So I remember. And he suggested when I knew Harold, they were just a singing group. Let's take you up to the neighborhood, Eastern Pennsylvania. I want you to see Harold Melvin. On stage, but they were singing like the Dells. I remember them. But when I knew Harold, they were just a singing group. And
he knew from the neighborhood.
Four singers
not on stage.
In a four-piece band. Not on stage, but they were singing like the Dells. And after I left there, like that, and gave me this four singers to do in a four-piece band. Basically see now a band behind. So that us singers. And after I left there, that's kind of was designed around what I inspiration to do from Harold, and that was the first time I see now. A band behind us singers, basically that's kind of was designed around R&B thing. Learned from Harold, and that was the first time I had seen. It inspired me to basically because I was like the group broke up, I was saying. Howard and had this set up too, and it inspired me. Them cats, man, get up off your butts, man. Get this thing together. Because I was like, put together 3 up front, and 3, you know, being whatever. I'd still called it the bus, man, get up off, because it was my name. So I put together 3 up clubs and 3 that acted. I'd still just called it the Butlers. It made me stay true to that.
Right.
Yes, so as it went along, it got better. We went on, worked clubs. We decided to do this. We decided to do that. East Coast. And now suddenly it made me stay true the name to Raw Soul. Yes, as it went along, it got better.
And
we decided to do this, we decided to do that.
With the sister.
And now suddenly, yes, we changed the name to Raw Soul. We were playing Raw Soul. San Francisco, went from Philadelphia to San Francisco. Chasing the Little Dream, you know, went out there. Yes, Marvin Gaye. Starved our playing it, you know, but San Francisco, went to Philadelphia to San Francisco. She came in, chasing the Little Dream, you know, really loved us, told us Marvin was starved almost interested in a band backing him up. But we still working that could open up. She came in front of him. So really loved us, told us Marvin was up, but I'd sure like interested in a band backing him up. The thing in front of him that could open up. And out of left field, one day we played it. He told him I'm not interested in backing him up in the club. Really little get this opened in the thing in front of him. Just loved us. And out of left field, one day we played it. He's sitting the Raw Soul thing. He said, man, that's the other thing. Really little club. Change that ugly name. Just loved us, man.
So Marvin Gaye says,
the Raw Soul thing. He said, man, that's the ugly name.
Well, y'all saying, look, you know you Marvin Gaye, but man, we like our name. What did y'all say?
Yeah, a little bit,
so
but
Marvin Gaye says,
we were willing to change
can't get rid of this name. Now, well, y'all saying, look, you know you Marvin Gaye,
we were willing to change the name, you know.
What did y'all say? So how did you come to Maze?
A little bit, but we were willing to change around, tossing names.
So Click said, this Marvin Gaye
we were willing to change
Frankie Beverly and Maze. So how did you come to Maze featuring Frankie Beverly?
Tossing names around, tossing names. Must have taken months.
Is it
but because
Frankie
of what
Beverly
we are,
or is it Maze featuring Frankie Beverly?
People can say Frankie Beverly, they still mean Maze. They say Maze, they still, it's worked out. Because of what we are.
I asked a question about the name because whenever I look at a lot of the unsung
people can say Frankie Beverly, they still mean Maze. They say Maze, they still, it's worked out.
I asked the question about the name because we didn't like so-and-so getting out front, getting all the shine and the publicity. I'm sitting there going, man, look, if y'all getting paid because of ego, it does not matter. We didn't like so-and-so getting out make sure getting all the shine and have that drama. I'm sitting there going, man, look, if y'all getting paid, Beverly Maze be the band and he out there. It does not matter. Versus, how did y'all make sure you didn't have that drama, or did you?
It was basically something I put together.
Maze be the band and he out there.
There was a respect for that.
Look, man, we all get this check.
Yeah, no, I never had that. I mean, it was basically something I put together.
When you know acts, there was a phenomenal group, and all of a sudden somebody leaves. They're not as big as a solo singer. How do you respond to that when you know?
Yeah, I never understand.
And they were phenomenal groups, and all of a sudden somebody leaves. They're not as big as a solo singer. You're going. You broke up a good thing.
Yeah, I never understand. I mean, couldn't get that together. I mean, even if it's a question of understood how certain acts. Why not? And I remember sitting here in my own mind. I mean, it's couldn't get that together. You know, I mean, even if it's a question of no less than what you're supposed to get. Why not? It's not going to change nothing. It is what it is. I mean, usually those things work themselves out. You're not going to get no less than what you're supposed to get.
Basically,
it's not going to change nothing. It is what it is.
And all of a sudden,
usually those things work themselves out.
And you got the blessing of Marvin Gaye. Things take off, basically, touches you guys.
Not immediately, because he wanted to produce us.
What happens? Now you got your name.
He originally wanted to produce
you got the blessing of Marvin.
A record on us. And so years not immediately, because he wanted to produce us. He originally wanted to produce a record about a year back. And so years went, because we didn't much. The man was taking care of us. He bought us. About 8 of us new equipment.
In one place?
Yeah, paid about a year back rent. Because we didn't have much. Frank, we all lived together. And we, I love
how many?
About 8 of us.
8 of y'all living in one place?
Yeah. Marvin decided, sat me down one day, Frank, and you know, I'm an artist. I'm an artist. Of course. I mean, if I get a great song, I ain't giving it to you. Do what I'm normally trying to do. And you know, I understand that. Trust me, I'm the same way. I'm the same way. But he was honest with me, man. He said, man, whatever you need, I'll help you. You know, I understand that. Trust me, I'm the same way. Try to do your thing. I'm the same way. But he was honest with me, man. Totally was very, very honest.
He was honest, yeah, but surely,
but man,
you were sitting there thinking,
try
okay,
to
I
do your
appreciate the honesty, but
you know, some demos.
What we gonna do now?
Totally was very, very honest.
He was honest,
because we had kind of made a name for ourselves in the clubs.
Okay, again, you know,
we had, you know, this thing that we've done all our lives. Because we had kind of made a name for ourselves in the clubs. Again, so we were okay. We had, you know, I know he was this thing that we've done all our lives. Still, we helped us maintain ourselves, and wasn't even. Maybe so we were okay. We were. I know he was a good man. And so Larkin all calls me one day. We sent demos around. Hey man, it wasn't even. Maybe over here. That's long. I gotta have this, man. This is Larkin all calls me. All this, man. You know, my then manager was with me. And I had the phone. You Frankie Beverly? Because I heard this message before. I gotta have this. You know, I handed the phone. And all this, man. You know, my then manager was with me. I handed the phone to him because I had heard this. And he said before. You know, I handed the phone to him. The first album, he was real. He really was. When he met me, he was man. Yeah, this is it. He's always just like, wow. The first album, he was real. You know, he really was. When he met me, he was man. I had never produced an album. He's always just like, you know, I want to produce the album. I hope I come through for this guy. Whatever you want to do. But no, he signed us. Kind of want to keep my publishing. I had never produced. You can have all your everything. You know, I want to produce everything. Man, you can whatever you want to do. And I said,
that is not a music business story.
You can have all your everything. This is for real. Okay. Everything.
First, that's God right there.
Didn't I say first of all, like it was Wall
That is not a music business story.
It wasn't big, but the first album overtook any single that we put out. That's why Happy Feelings was number one. They left Happy Feelings wasn't big, but the first album overtook any single that we put out.
Have you ever wondered what the logo for Maze means?
Was number one single.
You'll find out after the break.
They left Happy
Frankie
Feelings
Beverly fills us in on the significance of the seven-fingered hand. He also takes me on his trip to stardom and shares why he thinks folks in the South have shown Maze so much love over the years of the seven-fingered hand. Is America's he also takes me on his trip to stardom and shares why he thinks folks in the South have shown Maze so much love. A conversation with Frankie Beverly and why the band is America's best-kept secret. Although black folks, we know what the secret sauce is. You're watching Simply Amazing. A conversation with Frankie Beverly on TV.
78-year-old billionaire who has not stopped whining about his problems.
Oh, she had a big crowd. Oh, the crowd.
This weird obsession with crowd size. 78-year-old billionaire who has not stopped whining about his problems.
Oh, she had a big crowd. Oh, the crowd.
This weird obsession with crowd sizes. America's ready for a new chapter. We are ready for President Kamala Harris.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
America's ready for a new chapter.
To really get Frankie Beverly, aside from the many, many great records, is to be at a live Frankie Beverly show, particularly in the South, and watch the whole audience turn into like the most incredible Frankie Beverly, aside from the many, many great records, is to be at a live at a Frankie Beverly show, particularly in the South, and watch the whole audience turn into like the most incredible Southern girls and all that other great Frankie Beverly. So that's what happens at a Frankie Beverly concert. Everybody sings along. It feels so good.
6 fingers, 7 fingers.
Thank God for them Southern girls and all that other great Frankie Beverly. You make me happy and all that.
That's a big hand. What's up with the logo?
Because with 7 of us in the band,
7 fingers. What's
and that's where that comes. Yeah, it's actually 6 fingers. I'm the thumb. So obviously I'm.
That's a big hand.
That's 6 fingers. Because with 7 of us in the band,
right? Push the thumb down.
Yeah, I got that.
And you're the thumb. You're the taskmaster.
So. That's why.
But yeah, that did, and again,
so
you
when
know,
folks
like
get
I
out
said,
of hand, you push the thumb down.
I got
hand straight.
That's a maze too. You can go all the way to. We had contests. But yeah, that did, and again, you know, like I said, that so that all works out again. If you go, that's a maze too. You can go all the way to. We had contests. Yeah, man. People
I guess you might as well stay with me.
Yeah, I think so. It all works out again. It all makes sense.
All right, cool.
When did you really say?
Worked thus far.
Yeah, man.
I think.
I guess you might as well stay with it.
Yeah, I think so. It was quite easy, actually.
When did you really say?
After about
I
3 months, maybe 2 months or something. Went down to the office on it was quite easy, actually. And I met with Mark, and we were just talking. Hey man, 3 months, maybe a promotion tour. We could put something. I went down to the office. He asked me, "How many records do you think you sold?" And I met with Mark, and because I wasn't hearing a lot of the Bay. We do a promotion tour. We could put something. Judging by that, he asked me, "How many records do you think you sold? 4,000 or something like that?" Because I wasn't hearing a lot. He said, "Man, you sold about 200,000 in New Orleans." By that, couple thousand. The record that sold about 400,000. He said, "Man, you sold about 200,000, something like that." It was really up and half of it came out of the New Orleans. The record that sold about the Texas area, 400,000 at this point. So I was blown like that. It was really up in that and half of it came out of the New Orleans.
There has always been this unbelievable love affair between New Orleans and Mays. What is it about that? Because there has always been this unbelievable love affair between New Orleans and Mays. And you're right, Houston and Mays.
This ain't just me. Very unusual. That's why I said.
Earlier you talked about, when performing, you said, look, man, when you had to go out there, you had to compete.
This ain't me.
Was there a particular singer or group? Earlier you talked about who was on the same bill with y'all. You said, look, man, when you had to go out there, we gonna have to bring it. Was there a particular they on it? I mean, Eddie Levert said whenever they would go out, who was on the same deal with the spinners, and cats were like, we gonna have to bring y'all gonna have to do a little something because they just hit the joint off. I mean, Eddie Levert said whenever they would go out, there was the Temptations and the Four Tops and the Spinners, and
the Commodores.
Y'all gonna have to do a little something because we just hit the joint off.
It was a few that was like that in my day.
Oh
my goodness. The Commodores. Back in those hippie days, slide, you better bring it. You better not be messing around. Oh my goodness, embarrass you. So, but again, back in all those that stuff, hippie days, slide, and making you just like that. Around. I don't, to this day, I don't embarrass you. So, but again, what they did, all of that stuff winds up helping
a lot of artists
and making you just like that. I don't, to this day, I don't. Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. You're not going to go nowhere.
I've heard so many stories how a lot of artists today they don't want that kind of competition on the bill with them.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's what's going to make you what you are. Depending on you, you're not this ball's in your court. That's depending on you. You become a person. Eddie Levert, for instance. That's what's going to make you what you are. Depending on you, this ball's in your court.
He don't care, man.
Depending on you, you become a person. Eddie Levert, for instance. Sometimes Eddie Levert don't care. If the show is too big, I don't even want to hear what's going on. And I know exactly what see it. What show anyway when I'm in the dressing room. But sometimes I can hear if the show is too big. Got 2 minutes. Sometimes I just don't even hear what's going on. I don't want to even care. I don't see it. The show anyway when I'm in the dressing room. But sometimes I can hear do what we gonna do. And sometimes I believe that most of us have this same gift. I don't even care. This a gift that they can do that would make we just go out there change their whole life. What we gonna do if they gonna. But I believe that most of us have this.
Is there any one song that y'all have done that
a gift that they can do that would make
more to you personally
change their whole lives? If they but there are.
Is there any one song that y'all have done that,
such as We Are One stands out,
has meant more to you personally?
Just the title tells you why.
Right.
I believe that to my heart. But there are all the same. Some that stand out to me.
Such as
We Are One stands out. For just the title tells you why.
Right.
What sultry
I believe
songstress
that
he
to
would
my
love to
heart.
share the stage with.
We're all the same.
And also chats about his unique connection to soul
Something,
diva
whatever.
Anita Baker.
Plus, he'll tell you why she's really upset with him. Tells me what more of Simply Amazing, a conversation with Frankie Beverly chats about right here on connection to Soul Diva Anita Baker. Plus, he'll tell you why she's really upset with him. More of Simply Amazing.
In 2016, Donald Trump said he would choose only the best people to work in his White House. Now those people have a warning for America. Trump is not fit to be president again. In 2016, Donald Trump said he would choose only the best people to work in his White House. Now those people have a warning for America. Trump is not fit to be president again. His defense vice president.
Do you think Trump can be trusted with the nation's secrets ever again?
No, I mean, it's just irresponsible action that places our service members at risk, places our nation's security at risk.
His national security advisor.
Trusted with the nation's secrets ever again?
No, I mean, it's just irresponsible action that places our service members at risk, places our nation's security at risk.
We don't take an oath to a king. Donald Trump will cause a lot of damage. The only thing he cares about is Donald Trump.
And the nation's highest-ranking military officer. Donald Trump is a danger to our troops and our democracy. We can't let him lead our country again.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve
Take it from the people who knew him best. Donald Trump is a danger to our troops and our democracy. We can't let him lead our country again.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Musically, you haven't had a chance to do so. Is anybody you've always wanted to do something with musically? You haven't had a chance to do so.
And I tell you why I said that, because I've always liked her music and stuff too, but I've never met her. Never met her, and always. And I heard her one day. And I tell you why I said that, because I always liked her music about that too. But I've never met her. Frankie Beverly. Never met her, and always. And I heard her one day doing an interview and talking about
and we tried to put that together, but it was so hard. You know, she's, you know,
she's a free spirit.
I manage my thing. Nobody, we don't have. And we tried to put that together, but it was so hard. You know, she's, hey man, I'll take that break to get a chance to do I manage my stuff.
I can do that. She can't probably do that. So they're gonna decide, hey man, I'll take that break. It's impossible to get a chance to do and she can't say to do that. She can't probably do that.
But I believe they're gonna want that
inflate stuff where it's impossible to put together. And she can't say that.
I think that's just. But I believe, and I never believe.
But I heard
that
her
would have
speak
been a great
beautifully about us, and
we might have to hook that
made me at least try to put this together. Wow. And I never got off to I heard her
pretty good start, but then
beautifully about us. Then I could see what was going on. That made me at least try to put this together. And it got off to a pretty good start, but then the morning after, then I could see what was going on for her.
Tell me about a song
we had talked when she was
that has a connection to Anita Baker.
And because that's like the morning after. She's the one that's concerned. When you do stuff like that, that's from a woman's point of view. Because that's like a woman would be great for her. She's the one that's concerned. When you do stuff like that,
and when I got it together.
I thought that's what would be great for her. I thought it was Marvin.
So he's like, I ain't giving her this song.
And when I got it together, Marvin said the same. He said, man, if I got a great song, man, I ain't giving it to you. I thought it was Marvin.
So I did the same thing. I ain't giving her this song.
And it really bothered our relationship. I thought Marvin said the same. He said, man, if I got a great song, man, I ain't giving it to you. Swear, and I did the same.
That's what happened.
It really bothered our relationship.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not like it used to be.
But I swear, we have.
That's what happened.
But I did the same.
Y'all made up since?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Not like it used to be.
But she would have killed me too.
We have.
But you killed it.
Yeah, I did the same. I sure did. And she would have killed it
you've done for other artists, but you killed may not realize.
It was still nicely done. No, that's another thing.
You
just like Marv.
You've done for other artists.
That's why I related to what he was telling me. I thought even at that young time when he was that's another thing. Just like Marv, I don't. That's why I related to what he was telling me. I don't want. I thought even at that young time when he was telling me, wow, that's like something out there that people don't like. I don't. I don't want me to put something on it. That's what you're telling me to do, you know? So maybe to put something I want it to be always and put something out there that people don't like. The music, what you ain't ready to put something on it. That's what you're telling me to do. Very important. So people want to. I want it to be mess around in that have no business sort of a position with artists. Music, what you do, kind of music you want to do. What you do. That's very, very important, man. People nobody else mess around in that have no business in that. Do artists, you do what you do. Do what you do. It's over then. Because all nobody else is me.
But I used to talk about
develop your thing.
You always stunned.
It's over.
How phenomenal.
Because all you have to do is be you.
You never got recognized. I used to talk about. I was on the internet one day, and I went to a lot of people. And they were always stunned. They never won a Grammy. How phenomenal Maze
American Music Award.
You never got recognized. I was on the internet one day, and it was stunning to me. Man, they never won a Grammy. Again, this reaction, this love from the audience.
Soul Train Award.
American Music Award by the Trumpet Awards.
I went a blockbuster.
Was that one of the first?
That
was the first major again, this reaction, this love from the audience. Because I think it was three of you. And then y'all get honored by the Trumpet
me, Bug, and Rome.
Was that one of the first?
The original.
It was the first major award.
It was. Yeah, it was.
I think it was three of you.
It was. I think the audience made me more.
And
the original guys.
Because y'all were very emotional that day.
Yeah, it was. At this point. It was. I think the audience made me more. Yeah. It was like, emotional. It's a nice gesture and all that stuff, but when you wait at this point, that's not a big deal to me. So I was more. Yeah, it was. It's nice of these people to do this. It's a nice gesture and all that stuff. Fans love it. When you wait this long, probably more than what we do. You've gotten over that.
Then you got
so I was more.
BT honors.
It's nice of these people to do this.
Again, what I found to be amazing.
Probably more than what we do.
Generation then of folk who were partying like.
That's right.
And so y'all had stuff coming out. They weren't even amazing. They weren't even. A lot of them were not even thought. But again, it was this multi-generational like.
Yeah, this.
So y'all had stuff coming out. They weren't even here. They weren't even. A lot of them were not even thoughts. But again, it was this multi-generational love and appreciation.
Some places this. And another season, a quarter of the place, night after night. And I'm like doing the show, so I'm saying, how many of y'all seen us for the very first time? Some places that's young people, man. A quarter of the place. I see them all up front. I'm like, what? And I'm like, they know. Happy feelings.
Well, because one, I don't care who you are right now.
I mean, I see them all up front.
Frankie, I've said this to many a DJ.
Happy feelings.
Because one, I don't care who you are right now. I said, look here, trust me. Frankie, this is no lie. I've said this to many a DJ. And I'm telling you, I've been at a party and once they hear that intro, I said, look here, boom, I need the party goes crazy.
That's what
I'm telling you, this party about to get started. And once they hear that intro,
what can you do with that?
Boom, the party goes crazy. There's
no way I can complain about it. That's what I'm talking about. This thing is going. We have. What can you do with astronomical?
Next, Frankie Beverly opens up about battling vocal stress and how wearing all white linen outfits and his signature baseball caps on stage became his signature look. Next, Frankie Beverly opens up about battling vocal stress with Frankie Beverly and how wearing all white linen outfits and his signature baseball caps on stage became his signature look. You're watching Simply Amazing, a conversation with Frankie Beverly right here on
I
TV1.
had a blood clot in my uterus that caused my labor to have to be induced because of the overturning of Roe v. Wade. Almost killed me. I wasn't able to get a blood clot in my uterus. I almost died. Caused my labor to have to be induced because of the overturn.
I was able to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I'm proud to have done it.
The doctors and nurses I almost were afraid that if they treated me in the incorrect way, that they would be prosecuted for that.
I was able to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I'm proud to have done it.
That women should be punished. Were afraid that if they treated me in the incorrect way, they would be prosecuted for that.
For the woman.
And that's appalling. I believe that women should have reproductive freedom to make the choices about their own bodies. 4 more years of Donald Trump means that women's rights will continue to be taken away. That women should have one by reproductive freedom to make the choices about their own body. Because women are dying. Of Donald Trump means that women's rights will continue to be taken away one by one by one by one. This has to stop because women are dying.
I'm Kamala Harris.
Your
and I
voice,
this message.
that's your instrument.
That's right.
I interviewed Harold Belafonte and we talked about this when he had the battle and how that caused him to your voice in the singing career. That's your instrument. Richards talked about that as well. I interviewed Harold Belafonte and we talked about this. That is and how that's a scary thought caused him for a singer lose his voice in the singing career. You've had to battle through that. Richards talked about that as well.
I've been blessed enough.
That is that's a scary thought for a singer.
Given this Billie Holiday
you've had to battle through that.
Billie Holiday had a wonderful, beautiful voice too. To almost her biggest music came given this Billie Holiday when she didn't have that voice in her. Billie Holiday had a wonderful childhood when she had made herself find another way when she didn't have that voice in her. To get around God bless the child as much as I was thinking of the last 50 years. Made herself find another way. 50 years. I was 15 to get around this problem. 50 years as much as I was thinking of the last 50 years. You're going to have some. And the only people that don't get voice problems are the people that don't work. The acts that don't work a lot. You don't have some voice trouble. Still, you know, listen to that. The only people that don't get voice problems are the people that don't work. The acts that work, the acts that don't work a lot. Yes, you don't get voice problems. It comes with the territory. They don't work. What I've been blessed with. The acts that work, sometimes he works it out. You're going to get voice problems. And I've learned how to do this thing and still get you. Sometimes he works it out for me. All I know, and I've learned is this is very, very real. Do this thing and still get you. Because it comes and it goes. I don't know how. It's not, thank God it's not all cancer. I know it's not. This is very, very real. Some nights I think, wow. Rage. Because it comes and it goes. It's one of them things.
Weariness.
Thank God it's not cancer.
Wear and tear.
You know, that's what it is.
It's a traumatized.
It is, man. And sometimes it's rage. Better than when I think it's going to be.
Weariness. Wear and tear.
You know, that's what it is.
It's a traumatized.
It is,
man.
I don't know
how many times I've seen you off stage.
And sometimes it's better
and you got all black on.
Than when I think it's going to be. So I've learned.
And then you got all white on stage. Are you planning this thing? I don't know how many times I've seen you off stage. And you got all black.
That was a people thing anyway.
And then you got all white on stage. Wait, are you planning this thing?
If you remember that far back. You know, that was a people thing. I had a bunch of stuff that I used to wear. It wasn't an all-white thing.
So where's the all-white thing come from?
People, if you remember that I would get on stage some places. I had a bunch of stuff that I used to wear. It wasn't an all-white thing. People would say that to me.
So where's the all-white thing come from?
People, so I would get on stage. I decided, well, okay, they want me to white out this way. Right? You know,
what
people would say that to me.
To always remember.
I said, what's the white thing?
Frankie Beverly and Mays.
And I decided, well, okay, they want me to white out this way. White.
What that is the real deal. To always remember.
That we love them.
Frankie Beverly and Mays.
Our music speaks for itself. I care about people. That is the real deal. And sisters. That we love them mean a lot to me. It's just our music speaks for itself. It's about breaks in my life. I care about my brothers and sisters. And the one thing means a lot to me. It's just it's always thing called love. And I ain't trying to be this in my life, corny kind of. I'm talking about love. The one thing is, it's, you know, love is the key. Love is the key. And I ain't trying to be this, and that's corny kind. Remember whatever happened. Remember Mays and remember me. Love is the key. So I say love is the key. And that's.
Well, Howard,
remember whatever happened. Remember Mays and remember
Frankie,
me.
Man, it was a pleasure.
For love.
It was a pleasure.
All right, brother. I appreciate it.
With you.
Appreciate
well,
it.
Howard,
You're always there.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're always there.
Frankie, man, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure.
All right,
40 years.
I appreciate it.
1 hour.
Appreciate it, man. You're always there, too.
Our effort to explain what is it about Frankie Beverly and Mays that black folks love so much. So how do you put a sound is so unique, they are different. I mean, imagine any other group not putting out a new album in more than 25 years. Frankie Beverly and no matter where they go, folks still show up and pack the joint out. The sound is so unique, they are different. Sing and imagine any other group not putting out a new album in more than 25 years. 2017, no matter where they go, folks still show up and pack the joint out. Wanting to get tickets to sing and dance to all of their music. And they came out to the dance floor. We got one more treat to sing to the song. Was at the 2017. He and I danced together to one of his signature hits. When the DJ plays, have a great night. Go. Be sure to tune in to TV One to the dance floor every day. Sing to the song while he and I dance together to one of his signature hits. Have a great night. Be sure to tune in to TV One's News 1 Now every day, 7 a.m. right here. Have a great.